Welcome to English Corner, Chattogram Engineering University School and College section. Chwet Rajan Chattogram. Hello, my dear students. How are you? Hope you are okay. You are hale and hearty. In this pandemic situation, you are at home, we are also at home. So, according to our schedule, today I am going to start my online class again. This is Muhammad Gofran here, Assistant Professor of English, Chattogram Engineering University School and College section, Chwet Rajan. Hello, my dear students. According to our syllabus, we are practicing the topics one by one, both from first paper and second paper. So today, I am going to practice direct and indirect speech, that's in narration part 2. In my previous class, I discussed narration part 1. In that class, I tried to show some particular rules of narration. Today we shall practice a narration for the students of class 11, and my subject is English, and today's topic is narration part 2, and this is the practice session. In the previous session, I tried to practice some grammatical items, that is tense, back shifts, some usage, and some particular rules. Today I shall practice some exercises. Exercise 1. Now I am reading it. This is direct speech. You have to change it into indirect. The traveler said, "Can you tell me the way to the nearest inn?" "Yes," said the patient. "Do you want in which you can spend the night?" "No," replied the traveler. "I want a meal." So here there is a conversation between a traveler and a patient. Here now you have to narrate it in your own English, which is called indirect speech. Now let us practice. See the reported speech. The traveler asked the pigeon if he within bracket P means pigeon, could tell him the way to the nearest. The pigeon replied that he could, and asked whether the traveler wanted one in which he, that is traveler, could spend the night. The traveler answered that he did not wish to stay there, but only wanted a meal. Here you see, sometimes our students make mistakes. Here is that the pigeon replied that he could. There are some students, there are some books also in our market, they write, the pigeon replied in the affirmative or replied in the negative. So this is fallacy, this is wrong. The traveler asked the patient if he could tell him the way to the nearest. The patient replied that he could. But some students write, the patient replied in the affirmative. Or sometimes they write, if it is not, they replied in the negative. Actually, it is wrong. In Rand and Martin's grammar book, you will see the reference in direct and indirect, chapter. This is called fallacy. This is not good English. So you'll write, replied that he could. You should not write replied in the affirmative, replied in the negative, because you have practiced it in your school level. No problem now. You shall not practice it more. You are now going to the upper classes, so you have to practice with modern English, that is modern exercises, modern methodology. So I am reading again The traveler asked the pigeon if he could tell him the way to the nearest inn. The pigeon replied that he could, and asked whether the traveler wanted one in which he could spend the night. The traveler answered that he did not wish to stay there but only wanted. Now we shall go for another exercise. Exercise 2. This is direct speech, you see. I came here yesterday from my village, he said. Why did you come? I asked. My mother sent me to you with this letter. How is your mother? I haven't seen her for a long time. I hope she is quite well. So here the conversation takes place between he and me. That is the boy and the man. Now you have to do it, you have to change it into indirect using the particular rules of changing indirect speech from direct speech. Now let us see the solution. He told me that he had come there the previous day from his village. I asked him why he had come. He replied that his mother sent him to me with that letter. This stands for that. That stands for this. Then I asked him how his mother was. I added that I had not seen her for a long time and hoped that she was quite well. Here you see I have used the word I added that. I added that. That is, I further said. I did not end the conversation. I continued. That is, I asked him how his mother was. And I hoped, here I used the word I hoped, that is, she was quite well. This is the expectation of the speaker. Now, I am reading again. He told me that he had come there the previous day from his village. I asked him why he had come. He replied that his mother had sent him to me with that letter. Then I asked him how his mother was. I added that I had not seen her for a long time and hoped that she was quite well. So you see the changes of tense, changes of pronoun. Now another exercise 3. This is from indirect to direct. I am reading the indirect one. Then one day the fruit seller told the grocer that he was going to the town to do some shopping. Thereupon he requested him to send his son with him to carry his things. He added that they would come back the next day. The next day the grocer asked the fruit seller where his son was. In reply, the fruit seller told him that a crow had carried his son away. Being angry, the grocer called the fruit seller a liar and asked him how a crow could carry away such a big ball. In reply, the fruit seller told him that it was just the same way as mice could eat away the balance and weights. This is the indirect speech. Now we shall change it into direct. You see in the question paper of boards, this type of narrations are given, sometimes from direct to indirect and from indirect to direct. Now we are going to practice, and we are trying to change it into direct. Now see, from indirect to direct. Then one day the fruit seller said to the grocer, I am going to the town to do some shopping. Please send your son with me to carry my things. We shall come back tomorrow. The next day, the grocer said to the fruit seller, where is my son? The fruit seller answered, a crow carried your son away. You are a liar. How can a crow carry away such a big boy? The grocer said angrily, it is just the same way as mice can eat away the balance and weights, said the fruit seller. So there is a conversation here between the fruit seller and the grocer. See, there is a change of narration and the change of tenses, change of pronouns, and change of adverbs. So we have practiced two narrations from direct to indirect and one from indirect to direct. So for your better understanding, for doing well in the examination, you have to practice more and more. Inshallah, after opening the institution, I shall try to practice. Now I am requesting you, that is, this is my advice, to practice from your, model test paper. That is, you can at least practice the board questions. Then it will help you much. I think you will practice, and let us finish our today's class. Have a good day. Don't go outside in this pandemic situation. We pray to Almighty Allah for your safe and sound health. Allah Hafiz. Have a good day.